Hello, hello, hello. Look at that look. Today we had just simple makeup with a reddish orange lip. Yeah. What about my earrings? Comment and tell me how they look. Look at the neutral shades on my eyes. That's what you're going to do. So like and subscribe so we can start. Yes. So the next look we are going to have is for my eyebrows. I'm just going to line as per usual with a brown Davis eye pencil in number 18. Yeah, I'm just going to also line the above line following the shape of my eyebrows. Yeah, I'm just going to make sure that the line is okay, including using my fingers. Then I'll go in with my Morphe spoolie. It's a Morphe brush that is two-sided. It has a spoolie and an angle brush on the other side. Then I'll go in with my Davis in number 3. It's a bit darker and fill in the inner side of the eye. The reason why I'm using a darker one is because the other side looks darker than this other side. So I had to make it a bit darker to just match. As you continue applying the pigment, you have to continue brushing also to just make sure they look the same. Then I go inside the eye with my angle brush with some residue of foundation, and I brush the inside part to create an ombre effect. Then I go in with my Tarte in number 37C in medium golden, and I just line my eye where I drew. I make it shape. I make the shape so that it looks like the other one. Yeah, that is one of the best concealers I know. Then I also line on the above part of the eyebrow. I'm using my brushes from Morphe. I bought a set, and this one is Morphe M166 in the set that I'm using to just clean up the eye. Then I go back with my spoolie and make sure that it really looks like a sister to the other eye. Not a cousin, not a stepsister, just a sister. Yeah. I keep going back with also my pencils, my eyebrow pencils, the Davis ones in number 18 and number 3. I keep brushing and lining it so that it looks exactly like the other eyebrow. Yeah. I lift it up a bit when I'm applying to see exactly where to put the line. It helps with also drawing a straight line compared to just drawing without lifting your eye up. I saw it somewhere on YouTube. I forgot the owner of that information. Yeah, then I just go back with the same Morphe M166 brush. Yeah, and I clean up just to ensure that that eye is exactly like the other one. Then I also create that ombre effect, and I continue brushing until I'm just sure that it looks like the other one exactly. I go to the other above, at the other side of the eye, and just do exactly what is on the other side also. Yeah, ta-da! They are now the same. Then I go in with my other Tarte concealer in number 29N. That is light medium. That is what I'm going to use on my lids as concealer today. Yeah, just spread it generously across the eyelid space. Yeah, as you can see, my eyelid space is a bit big. Then I go in with my original blender and spread it. It's damp, the blender, damp and well squeezed. I understand some people use these things without even putting water. How do they work? To you, my viewers, kindly note that you have to make it a bit wet or even just damp, and then squeeze it maybe with a towel to remove some water. And then you can use it. It blends the place perfectly. Then now I'm going in with my Juvia's Palace brush. It came with a set, J117, my precision brush. And then I go in with my Morphe and Jeffree Star palette. Morphe times Jeffree Star palette with the same brush that I'm talking about, the Juvia's precision brush on J117, and I start spreading on the outer eye. I pick the brown color. I start with it. I pick the brown, orange, black colors. If I add any, I'll inform you. I just spread it tap by tapping motion before I go in and blend. Yeah, I just tap and make sure it looks exactly the way I want it to look, and it's placed exactly where I want it to be placed. The reason why I'm putting it a bit higher, maybe than some, is because I have big lid space. And then when I lift my eyelid up and I have makeup on it, if it's not well spread, it will end up spoiling the other part of the makeup. Yeah, I just continue applying those colors one after another. First, I continue blending. I make sure that I go in a circular motion at the edges of the color that I've just deposited. Then now I go in with a different color. It's the orange color that I had mentioned earlier. The brush I'm using is the Morphe M506 small brush. It's a tiny precision brush. It's good for blending a different color on top of another. Yeah, I spread it. I spread it just across the eye. At the same time, I'm blending it. It's a very beautiful blending brush. It's one of the best blending brushes that I've ever used. I would recommend, of course, the Morphe M506. I don't think I have any regrets for anyone if you go and buy this. And this is not sponsored. Yeah, maybe I can get sponsorships later, but for now, it's not sponsored. This is just a true, humble opinion. Yes, I continue using that M506 Morphe brush. I'm using it in round motions to just blend. I don't want the color to just sit on top of that brown. I need it to look blended, like it belongs to that eye, not like just visiting. Yeah, I now I'm going in with the same small tiny M506 brush because it's really good for precision. And I've picked up now the black pigment on the same Morphe times Jeffree Star palette. Yeah, I'm just applying while blending so that it doesn't come out harshly. I tap at the same time. I blend. Always blend, 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 and blend again. Yeah, I just continue applying and blending, using the same M506 Morphe brush. It came in a set. Yeah, I just spread it across the eyelid, in the corner, in the outer corner. Then I go back to that orange because I think the pigment is loosening up a bit because of the different colors I'm using on the eye. So I go back and just apply on top of exactly where I had placed it. I'm sorry that my mirror was kind of misplaced. So some corners you might have missed out on seeing how I did it. But it's all good. Yeah, then now I'm going in with my Tarte 29N light medium to just cut the crease. And then I look up to see exactly where to place my crease. I don't know if it will work, I look up, I try again until I make sure it's stuck and showing me where I should cut my crease. Yeah, I just do that and cut the crease exactly where it should be. Now I go in on the inner corner of the eye, and the mirror has moved once again, so I'm going with the mirror, and I'm so sorry for that. But you'll notice that it won't take long. I just notice when I check my camera, and then I go back into place. But I apologize for that small inconvenience. Yeah, I'm just using my brush from Morphe to cut the crease. It is the M166 brush that I'm using to cut the crease. Yeah, I'm doing in a pulling motion. Once I tap on where I want the pigment to be, the touch pigment, I just pull it down, and then I join the parts that are not balanced or meeting at the same point. Just trying to give that C shape for the cut crease. Yeah, I keep doing that. If you want an in-depth video on this, kindly comment below so that I can do it. I read all my comments, and I'll sure read it, and I'll come up with a look and also how to do it. I'll show you a full video on how to do it. Then now I'm going with my Juvia's J Precision brush. I'm applying the brown pigment. Then I go in with my orange pigment, using the Juvia's brush too. I'm sorry, I'm in the corner again. Now I take a Morphe brush. It's smaller than the other one. It's the Morphe M124 brush I'm using to apply the orange shade. The reason why I took it is because it can be more precise than the other one, which is bigger. So this one won't remove my cut crease or maybe cover it up completely. It will continue showing. Yes, I just spread the orange across the eye lid after the black, and as I spread it, I just blend it together with the black, as you can notice. There's no magic to this, it's just like that. I keep blending and applying and blending and applying. Yes, until I make sure I'm satisfied with how it looks. Then I go in now with the next color. The next color I take is the silverish one, and I take it with the same brush that I was using, but I wiped the brush clean. I didn't just dip it in a different color with the other residue. I make sure it's a clean brush by the time I'm using it. Now, after applying the silver, I have some loose pigment that I will go in and just spread across that inner circle for it to pop completely and look really bright. Yeah, and the brush that I'm using to do that is a Morphe brush again, M508. It's a very tiny brush, but it applies well for things like glitter. It can also cut the crease if you're not in a hurry to do it because it's smaller. Yeah, I just spread the loose pigment. The loose pigment is by Alpha. It's called Alpha, but it's from a company called Love Alpha. It came in that small tin. Yeah, now I go in with my Huda Beauty pencil. It has two sides. This is the Beauty pencil. It has that kind of brush for the wing liner, and then it has the other one, which is a pencil. Yeah, I like using it first because it's easy to go precisely exactly where you want to draw the line with it. Like even reaching the inner corner with that brush is easier because it's tiny and easy to use and flexible. Yeah, I just draw that wing or that eye. Then I go in with my Rare Beauty eyeliner. It's called Rare Beauty Matte Liquid Liner. It's a very nice brush. It's a very nice eyeliner, sorry. Also for the wing, it makes the work easier. I just use it, I'll pull in my eye. It's easier for me when I do it like that. And it doesn't mess up the rest of my makeup, my eye makeup. Then I go out of the eye and I draw a wing. I know it looks a bit not straight, not sharp, but I'm going to use concealer to sharpen it up. So don't worry about that. Yeah, I just continue lining and following the lines that I've already created. Then I go in with my AliExpress wing and my Kiss Beauty glue. AliExpress lashes, sorry, not wing. The lashes that I'm using are in number 1 on AliExpress. I just draw first the glue. I use the glue to put on the almost the eyebrows, not eyebrows, the eyelashes, my own eyelashes. I put above them slightly where I'll put the lash now. After that, I clean up my wing liner with some concealer. Then I go in and place my wing very easily. As you can see, it stuck very easily, as long as you give it a few seconds to just dry. You can do something else while waiting for it to dry well, because if you place the lash when it's still not dry, it won't stick and it can mess up your makeup. Then I go in with my wipes and just clean up my face before I start now the skin work. I just make sure that all residues of anything else are just out of that face so that I can have a clean canvas to work with. Yeah, even the inner corner of the eye, I make sure that there's nothing there. Then I go in with my Charlotte, my airbrush flawless party all night, stay all day. It's called Charlotte Tilbury. I go in with my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. It's called airbrush flawless. Yeah, after that I go in with my Milk Hydro Primer and just spread it generously across my face. I put one layer. Once it starts being tacky, I put a different layer to just make it last longer, my makeup last longer. Then I have some new foundations that I really, really love. They're the Anastasia Foundations, Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation. I have it in number 510 Warm and number 400 Neutral. I am so happy with these foundations. I've never applied something that gave me such results. I was still glowy and it looked like my skin exactly after using it, before I put anything else on top. Like I even put a different layer. I put a second layer because I couldn't, like I thought it was so light on my face. It looked so light, it didn't look like I put a lot on my face. So I put in a second layer that I had already mixed up on my hand to just make sure that the coverage is enough. But even the first time it was enough. I didn't need the second one. It's just that I've not used the foundation that gave me such results. It looked so light on the face, yet it covered, and then it brightened up my face. I loved the result, but I loved it after a while. It's not something that you'll put today if you're used to a different foundation and just like it. It takes time to grow on you. Yeah, then I'm using my e.l.f. It comes my elf sponge, total face sponge duo. For that one, it came in two, and I'm not gonna lie, this sponge compared like to the original blender, I'll give this one 6.5 to 7. I think it's not soft, very soft, like I'm used to. And then the way it feels like it's harder than the original blender. In fact, you'll notice that I even went in with a different blender for the second layer of the foundation, because this wasn't just working for me. I think even the coverage would have been better with a different blender. I'm not putting it off, but I can't compare it to my original blender. My original blender is the best. Yeah. I make sure that all corners of the face have the foundation. It looks exactly like my color. Yeah, that's the second layer I was talking to you about. Then I'm also using a brush from Estee Lauder that I bought like over 5 years ago to spread that foundation across the face. Yeah, I just spread it. The mixed one that I mixed behind my hand, the second layer. I just make sure that it's everywhere on the face. And then now I take my original blender, the one I was raving about, and I just spread it with it. It's damp, it's wet. So that's what I like using. When it's wet, the coverage is really coming along. You can just see. Yeah, it has a very nice finish. But if you're not used to that kind of finish, like I wasn't, it will just shock you. Like you'll think maybe you need to put more, while it's already enough. Yeah, I just make sure that every corner is well blended. There's nothing else standing out. Just spread, make sure all corners are fully covered. Then now I go into highlight. To highlight, I'm going to use my Tarte Double Duty Beauty Concealer in 29N. That is the light medium. Yeah, I just start with the inner eye, then I spread it now across the face. Yeah. Then I go on my chin, my cupid's bow, my nose, and then my forehead. Yeah. Once I'm done with that, I go in with my contouring foundation. I'm gonna use to contour today, I'm using the Fit Me in 378. Fit Me foundation in 378. It's a darker shade, so it works well at contouring, and it's very matte, so I like it because it doesn't spread very far. It sticks exactly where you want it to stick. Yeah, I'm just continuing to just contour. I'm using the other blender, the Total Face Sponge Duo blender, to spread it under my cheeks. Yeah, I just make sure that it is well blended, because I wouldn't want it spreading to any other part of my face, the contour, and damaging my contour. Then I go in with my original beauty blender that I had used for the foundation at the end. the second layer, and I just spread that concealer under the eye. I make sure it is well blended. I spread it completely with the damp beauty blender. I continue spreading, starting with the outer part and then going inwards in order to avoid it spreading. Then I also spread it across the mouth. I form that ugly face as usual. Check any other makeup artists, whether what or what. You'll find that they also form the same face when doing different things on their faces. I spread it across my forehead with the damp beauty blender. I make sure that it is well blended everywhere. In the corners of my nose, in the corners of my eye. Then I go and cut my cheek contour with it, with whatever is remaining on the blender. Yeah, you can just surely see where the highlight has been placed. I'm sure you can see very well. I just blend on the corners. I want nothing, no harsh lines on my face. I want everything to flow. I continue. Then I go in with my Fit Me powder, setting powder. It's called Fit Me Set and Smooth Powder in number 125. It's for normal to dry skin. I just use the beauty blender to take some and put it across the different parts of my face that I have highlighted. As you can see, once I put it on, it just becomes matte and very smooth. Like, that is the intention. That is what you go for. I like the consistency of everything on my face today. Yeah. I just continue across my nose, on my forehead. I don't use a lot of that product because I also don't want my face to have too much makeup. Yeah, then I go in with my Fit Me in Cinnamon in 355. But first I go in with my Black Up. Is it Black Opal or Black Up? I think that's Black Opal powder. I use it to just contour more on the parts that I had contoured with a darker shade. I just use it to, and the blender and the brush that I'm using to do that, to spread it, is a highlight brush that I just bought over the counter. It doesn't have any set name, it doesn't have a name. Same to the other one that I'm using to cut my cheekbones. Yes, that one that I'm using there. It doesn't have any particular set name. It doesn't have a designer name. It's just a brush for over the counter. And I've stayed with it for quite a while. I think I've stayed with it with over 5 years or so. Yeah. I continue brushing off the white powder that I've put across the different parts of my face. I blend a bit on the nose to just bring the shape. Yeah. As you can see, it's not hard. I do it under the chin. I make sure that all excess powder from my face is off. This brush is not without anything. It has the Cinnamon Fit Me powder in 355. That is also my almost exact color. Yeah, I continue just cleaning up any powders that might be laying on my face to make sure that the surface is clean. And then I go in with my Morphe times Jeffree Star. I have an eyeshadow that is orange. It looks brown in the palette, but when you apply it, it comes out orange. It looks like a shade of brown, but then it ends up being orange. It's before the green and the golden, that brownish looking. It's actually orange. I go in with that to be able to put some blush on my face. I use it for blush. It goes well with the eye colors that I have used on this day. And I think it will also go well with the lipstick that I'll choose eventually. Yeah, I just continue spreading the blush, and I'm using a smaller brush, a smaller Real Techniques brush to spread the. Then I go in with a Real Techniques 400 brush and try to clean up again, as well as blending the rest of the face. Then I go in with my set and refresh mist from Morphe times Jeffree Star, and I just spread it across my face. I make sure that my face is well that the mist is well spread across my face. Then I clean up my lips before I go in with my lipstick. I think that's the only thing remaining. Then I lip line. The lip liner that I'm using is a Davis Jumbo pencil in number 11. Yeah, I just lip line using that pencil. It's a bit light brown. Then I remember I need to put another set of finishing spray. There I take the MAC Prep and Prime Fix It and just again spread it on my face. And then I take my fan to avoid any patchiness and just use my fan to dry the face. Then I go in with my Morphe times Jeffree Star palette once again, and I take the silverish color on top of the palette, the first color in silver, and use it for highlight. Yes, and then I also use it across my Cupid's bow before I apply the liner, before I line it for lipstick. It's the Davis Eye number 11 that I'm using as a lip liner. Yeah, I just continue. Then now I go in with my Smashbox. It's called, the Smashbox is called Bang Bang. The name of the lipstick, the Smashbox lipstick I use. I just spread it on my lips. It came in a small Christmas set. It has 4 different colors. The set has 4 different colors. It came in the Always on Liquid lip set. There were 4 different ones. I just spread it, but it's a very tiny lipstick. Yeah. I spread it across the lower lip first, and then I go on the upper lip, and also just spread it, starting with my Cupid's bow to define that shape of the mouth. I'm very careful when doing this so that I don't overline it. Like the instances where we overline, but when you plan to overline, not because the lipstick has lost direction. Yes, and voila! Isn't it a lovely color and a beautiful combination? I think I love it. Yes, I continue just spreading in the parts that I think is not fully filled. Then I pop my lips together. I think I like the look. What do you think? On a Friday, someone can go with this to the office. And then now I go in with my Maybelline New York lip graduation by Color Sensational. And I just make that red darker. It's called Red too. It's a Maybelline lipstick, but it's like in pencil form. It was a gift. And then just check out my face. I think I like the result. This is a Friday look that you can easily go with to the office and then go out and party after that, because it will stay set. It won't move the whole day. Yeah, then I remember my underline, my waterline. It's just there. It's not dressed up as the rest of the face. So I take a small brush from Zoeva and just use it to apply some orange on that waterline. Yeah, and there's the ugly face. It comes and goes as it wishes. Who else can relate? Comment below and advise. Yeah, that's done. I think I'm loving the look a lot. Yes. And then I go with the same silver shadow that I used to highlight and just brighten my eye on the inner corner, because I had also seemed to have forgotten that, but I remembered at least. Yeah. And I'm also using a Morphe pencil brush. It's a very tiny pencil brush from Morphe, the tiniest on the set. And bye. And there is the look, the complete look. Don't I love it? For these earrings, very soon I'm getting a page that will be stocking them and different other designs that are just wow, at very good prices. You can always, I'll give you a link to be able to access my earrings page, and you can start buying. I deliver all over the world and all over Kenya. Thank you. Enjoy your evening. Subscribe and like.